Thank you for joining us for English session program on Radio Television of Burkina Faso from Ouagadougou. After the eastern region of Burkina Faso, the commander-in-chief of the Burkina Armed Forces and his staff met the troop deployed at Djibo at the Sahel region. It is a visit to encourage soldiers that were deployed in this area of the country that is victim of terrorist attacks. At Intangom, Marcoy, and Usi, General Sadu also gave pieces of advice to his men, and he invited soldiers to keep on fighting and not to give up even 1 centimeter of the territory for those terrorist groups. The story is by Umar Zombre.
In Tangom, we are at about 130 kilometers from Dori, Sahel region. In this area, located at the borders of Mali and Niger, the soldiers are watching carefully the area. They know it. They are the first front line against terrorism. At the doors of Mali and Niger, respectively at 4 and 10 kilometers from Burkina Faso, those fighters are the first defensive wall preventing terrorist penetration in our soil. To congratulate them and strengthen their mind in this fight, the Army Chief of Staff and the Land Army Chief of Staff are here in Intangom. And to each soldier in the detachment, the military hierarchy delivered a personalized message. After Intangom, Ursi, we are in the Udalan. Here, gendarmes are the forces who are controlling and defending this location. Likewise, those from Intangom. Here, they are ready to react with steadiness to any threat.
Nous sommes là pour la protection des populations et également dans la lutte.
We are here to secure our area and protect by the same the population, said the Lieutenant Moriamba Key. The Brigadier General congratulated the lieutenant for his initiatives in the battlefield.
Beaucoup d'initiatives en termes d'organisation tactique pour leurs patrouilles, en termes aussi de gestion.
A lot of initiatives in terms of tactical organization for the different patrols, in terms of equipment management and communication means they have, and also in terms of relationship with local communities, said the Brigadier General Umaru Sadu. This trip in the Sahel region conducted the military hierarchy in the detachment of Marcoy. There, the same message was delivered to the fighters: never give up any position in front of enemies.
A joint security operation was carried out by the neighboring countries from November the 15th to the 22nd at Bouna in the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. The operation involved Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, and Ghana, and it allowed arresting at about 100 presumed criminals. 2,000 security men were mobilized in that operation called Kundangu. The second security ministers of the three countries took part in the closing ceremony of that operation. The 14th edition of the Internet and the ICT Week was officially launched on Thursday in Ouagadougou under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Paul Kabatiba. The 2018 edition is focused on the digital innovation for economy and society structural transformation. The Digital Economy and Post-Development Minister Fatimata Ouattara Sanu says the innovation is to allow the Burkinabe and young engineers producing made in Burkina smart platform for our own need. The Internet and the ICT Week is taking place from the 22nd to the 24th of November on the CIO site in Ouagadougou. Ouagadougou hosted the 27th meeting of the Integrated Frame Council on the International Trade. The meeting is initiated to reinforce the capability of the underdeveloped countries in values chain development to be able to export and to compete in the international market.
This is important for us because one of the reasons we organized this meeting here is that Burkina Faso has already shown considerable results on the ground, and this is something that we wanted to showcase. In terms of the achievement that we are expected to make during this board meeting, one of the things that the board is going to approve is the strategic plan, medium-term strategic plan starting from 2019, going all the way up to 2022. So this is one of the major achievements that we are going to have. The second major achievement is that we would like to, like the board, to request for the approval of the monitoring and evaluation action plan that we have prepared, and which would be launched very soon. Then the third major item agenda that we are discussing is that this board is going to approve the budget for 2019 for the Executive Secretariat as well as for the Trust Fund Manager.
African countries are more and more facing food crisis, even though the continent has a lot of farming potentialities. Several countries met in Ouagadougou this week to think in how to find ways and means to increase farming productivity through the development farming technologies. More details with Dr. Lompo. He is a researcher and he is one of the participants of the workshop.
We call it in-country planning meeting. This in-country planning meeting is for Burkina Faso, and we hope to put together all stakeholders which can help with that program to achieve its objective. With that means technology for transformation of African agriculture. And this planning meeting is to see which activity we could be done in 1 year period. And we hope that we bring together extensionists, but also private sector, NGOs, and farmers associations.
To help African countries face climate change effect, the coordination of the African Indigenous Peoples Committee met in Ouagadougou this week to call for the integration of traditional knowledge in the plan and the adaptation national strategies. The Ouagadougou meeting is also to share knowledge and experience on climate change impact resilience by local communities.
We know that climate change is a problem for everybody. It's the greatest challenge that humanity has ever faced. And we must tap into every knowledge system to make sure that humanity is able to address climate change, either to mitigate or adapt to climate change. So we picked on Burkina Faso because of the cooperation the government gave us. It is the first kind of workshop on integrating traditional knowledge into national adaptation plans that we are doing in Africa. And because we know that for centuries, the communities, the indigenous communities in this country have been practicing certain transhumant systems, and how are these affected by climate change, and what knowledge have they gained in these systems that can allow the country to properly respond to climate change, to adapt to climate change, and what lessons can we borrow from this experience here and take it to other parts of Africa.
The Burkinabe Yakuba Sawadogo, who is also called the man who stopped the desert, was awarded the Alternative Nobel Prize in Stockholm in Sweden. At 78 years old, Mr. Sawadogo is the 170th winner of the prize. He was awarded for using stones to protect the soil by planting millions of trees to make a forest on an arid land in the north region of Burkina Faso. Thank you for watching. Stay connected to Radio Television of Burkina Faso to enjoy your weekend. See you next time and take care.